What's going on, guys? My name's Max. I'm a bloke of average fitness trying to get to above average fitness, and today we are back out on a bike. This is the second ride on my new Pinarello X1. I'm going to go over a couple of details about this bike, why I've got it for one, and a couple of interesting things about it, because I've always thought of Pinarello as super high end, like the top of the top. Last year Pinarello dropped this, which is the X1, which is aimed at, I would guess, my kind of demographic of cyclists. People that are looking to upgrade from a sort of maybe their first or second bike into carbon road bikes. Essentially what Pinarello have done is brought their wealth of experience in making, you know, world tour winning bikes, elite level bikes, and put it into a package that fits my kind of demographic, that are looking to get a little bit more serious in their biking, but people that haven't got 6 or 7 grand to drop on a bike. And that's where this comes in, at about £3,000. So I'd say it sits in that category of people that are looking to take their cycling a bit more seriously and really want to make an investment and get something that's going to elevate them. Now, Pinarello split their lineup into 2 main categories. They've got, or in terms of road bikes, you got the F series and the X series. The X series is aimed more for endurance bikes, so this X1 is the entry level to their endurance category. What does that mean? So the geometry is a bit less aggressive. It's more of a bike that you'd want to sit on all day rather than one that you'd necessarily go and race on. And it's probably what most people should ride. From what I've been told, aero race bikes are built to go fast. They're not built to be particularly forgiving, whereas this endurance bike, you could happily sit on this all day. The entry level into the category is made up of T600 carbon, which means that it's not the lightest, but obviously in order to keep price down, I guess they need to use materials that aren't gonna break the bank. Although this is obviously an endurance focused bike, it is still a Pinarello at the end of the day. So this bike probably sits in between like an all-out endurance bike and a race bike. The geometry is less aggressive than, for example, a Dogma, but not quite as relaxed as some endurance bike from other brands. There's obviously loads of specs I could go into, and to be honest, I don't really feel like I'm that qualified to talk about the science behind why this bike is cool. What I can tell you though is what it's like to ride. Now, I've been used to riding a Giant Propel, which is an aero road bike. That is designed as a race bike. It's super stiff, super aerodynamic, and I can say that this is a lot more comfortable. Riding this bike, the positioning feels a little bit more upright, so it's not quite as, it doesn't quite put you in that aggressive aero position. Obviously I'm a bigger guy, so that definitely does a lot of favors for my back. I think I got used to the position on the Giant though, so that isn't really too much of an issue for me anymore. But yeah, this is just a much more relaxed feeling bike. Like, you could sit on this and you just wouldn't get tired, like, it's fine. Now, with this being an entry-level model, they have had to reduce some costs here and there. And the main place that I've seen that they've reduced costs is in the wheels. The wheels that this bike comes with are 19mm Shimano aluminium wheels. Absolutely bulletproof. You could do a lot on these wheels. They're not the best, they're pretty heavy, but out of the box they're good to go. This bike in particular has got 32mm tyres, which obviously is going to improve the comfort, which is probably what's playing a big factor in the comfort level on this. And also for winter and for the roads around me, 32mm tyres are probably ideal. That being said though, the wheels are very heavy, and that is probably one of the big things I've noticed switching from the Propel onto this. You can definitely feel the weight of those wheels. Now, all that being said, I think this bike is perfect for some of the things that I've got coming up. So this year I want to get more into sportifs. I want to be doing longer rides, try my hand at maybe 150-mile rides, and something like this is perfect for that, because as I said, it's a bike that you can sit on all day. At the end of my 100-mile ride on the Propel, my back was done. It was hurting a lot. But I'm looking forward to getting some long rides on this and really seeing how much of an impact that a more endurance focused bike can make. The bike comes with Shimano 105 mechanical group set, which is absolutely bulletproof. I've had no issues with it on my other bike, and it's just as good on this. It's fantastic. They do offer the next step up, which is the X3, which has 105 Di2, so that moves into electronic shifting, which would be cool to try. But you know, for the price that this bike is, 105, it's just bulletproof. You can take it everywhere. I'm going to pull over in a second. We'll talk through some of the specifics. Now obviously this bike is £3,000, so it's not cheap, but when you think about the brand that makes it and the attention to detail and the knowledge and craftsmanship that goes into these bikes, it's actually not a bad shout. You know, you get the classic modern look of full internal cable routing. You know, the bike is super clean. You probably won't be able to see in these conditions, but basically the paint on it is like a white / blue sparkle. Like when if you shine a torch over it, or when the light hits it, it's got these like blue shine to it, and it's really nice. I don't know if you can see it, probably not. One thing that I love about the Pinarellos is it comes with, it's like a quick release through axle, so there's no tools involved in taking the wheel off. So you unscrew this bit, pull that out, and there you have essentially your lever to unscrew the wheel, and then it just screws back in there, push it in, tighten it up, and there you go. Super convenient. Means you're never needing a tool to get the wheel off. So if you buy this bike, it doesn't come with bottle cages, an out front mount, or pedals, which is pretty normal for bikes like this. It's pretty rare that you get a bike that comes with all that. Bottle cages are pretty cheap. Out front mount came with the Wahoo anyway, so that's not an issue. You can see the frame has that classic Pinarello shape where it comes out and then kinks down, so you get this arc almost, whereas the Giant is like completely flat across the top. Personally, I really like that, and I think it's sort of become a trademark of Pinarello from what I've seen. Also, you've got the classic carbon under forks with these swoops. This again, big Pinarello thing. Look at this beautiful white frame that I've just absolutely butchered already. Why can't I clip in? There we go. So, what does this bike feel like to ride? Well, it feels comfortable. As I said, way less aggressive than the aero bike that I normally ride. I'd say the front end, again, I don't know if it's the wheels, I don't know if it's the tyres, the front end doesn't feel quite as stiff. You know, it's definitely not quite as direct. It still has that get up and go that you would expect from a brand like Pinarello. All around it just screams class and build quality. Like, it's just so well built and so dialed, but it doesn't have that aggression, that laser missile feeling that some people are after. I keep saying obviously it's not as aggressive, it doesn't have that missile feeling, but that's not what this bike is for. This bike is for going out and enjoying the ride. It's for going out exploring, it's for doing long distance sportifs, it's for enjoying cycling. I'd say if you're a hardcore racer, you're not buying this bike, but if you're someone that loves cycling and just wants to get out on their bike, this is perfect. The other good thing about Pinarello is that they offer so many different sizes. So this one that I've got is a 58. It feels relatively big though, so I think you can adapt them really well and really dial in the fit to whatever your body shape or size is. They really cater to all different sizes of people, which is great, especially when you're 6'3" and 90 kilos. Like, having a bike that you can dial in to fit you properly, oh my god, that is an absolute lifesaver. Now, although I said this bike isn't for racing, I wonder just how much of an impact, for example, changing the wheels would have. Like, I remember when I changed the wheels on my Giant, it felt night and day different, like completely different, so much quicker. So I wonder what it would be like, put some different wheels on this bike. Let me know if you want to see that. Drop it in the comments. Let me know if I should put some different wheels on this, because I think it could be quite interesting. I just filmed a whole segment and then realized that the camera was in time lapse. So yeah, I'm going to be riding this for a lot of my training sessions, especially while the weather's not massively fantastic at the moment. Really trying to do the majority of my winter training on this bike here, which should put me in a good position come summer when I switch onto a more aggressive bike to race on. I can't help but think that some deep section wheels would make this bike just look unbelievable. You can see here how the geometry of the frame is more endurance based. It's not quite as flat, so you sit way more upright. You can see the head tube is a lot taller, so that puts you in a much more comfortable position when you're riding. But yeah, also where I'm just very tall, I always look a bit hunched over on the bike. So yeah, just take my word for it, it is more comfortable. But yeah, massive shout out to Pinarello UK for loaning me this bike. As a small creator, it's just really cool to get this kind of opportunity to ride a bike like this. Yeah, a year ago, I definitely wouldn't have thought I'd be riding something like this, but so thank you very much. So yeah, sorry if this isn't the most comprehensive review in the world. So if there's any questions that you want answering or anything you want to know about this bike, drop a comment below and I will do my best to answer it. I cannot wait for summer. I feel like I say this every single video. Winter in the UK absolutely sucks. Oh, there's a car right up my arse. I just want to lie on the sofa with a chocolate orange. Taking this bike up to Derby to go on a ride with a professional triathlete. I'm probably going to get extremely humbled, but it'll be cool to take this bike up on the roads around Derby, because I know those routes are a little bit tougher than the ones that I've got down here. Yeah, go ride with a professional triathlete, ask him a few questions, try and get some tips. This year I'll be taking on my first Olympic distance triathlon, which, considering I only did my first triathlon last year, it's going to be a big jump. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Let's do a ride review. This wasn't really a proper ride, it was more coming out just to get some Ks on the bike. 27.5k, ride time 1 hour and 4 minutes, average speed 25k an hour, average heart rate 123, nice and easy. Yes, I'm going to leave it here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if there's anything you want to know about this bike, drop it in the comments and I'll do my best to answer it. If you made it this far, definitely make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next week. Thank you very much. Goodbye.